did.
Yeah, we did have a good spring though.
Yeah, true.
Again, so you're yawning.
I need to get that.
I was gonna say earlier or late in the day.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. I got nailed on, so that was fun. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, it was, I mean, it's not fun right now.
Alright.
No, I rode out there and then I'm really.
1 p.m.
10 days later, I was right to the grass line.
Doesn't matter, it's all turn off.
Came back down 3 months ago. I know it's met up with him, and he's got a couple cabins. We stayed there, and I did the sun too.
I know.
Drove the truck out, trailer and all the bikes and stuff. It was good. It was fun. A lot of work.
If there has to be links, that's fine as well, but I want to make sure every person can easily find it.
I can do right.
The category
Yeah.
that it is.
So that's right.
For those who are walking in, if you come up and sign, please.
Oh, yeah, just put it.
I know it's on that.
Okay, yeah.
How's it going?
You're tired?
What? I have about 335 actual working days.
Okay. Yeah.
And the next
That's why I wore my coat. I'm like, this is only
30.
I know, I brought mine too.
Yeah.
I know, I love it. I love it cold.
I'm gonna stop by Casey's. I don't wanna hear that crap out of your mouth.
I literally. Okay, what's up, my family?
Thank you.
I do go to the class, I'm like, I need a pizza. I'm like, from where? He's like,
Never get that said.
that's actually what we got. We're at, so I had like, actually, you're good.
On my birthday, my brother called me. I think he's already got it.
Ooh.
Casey's them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't know
I didn't know they had that.
My husband actually.
So it's just that goes through that.
Yes, no, yes.
Right. Rachel, you have extra pen down there? Oh, sure.
This is us.
Just kidding. He gave me this. Okay. Oh, your hair looks cute.
I don't know what that is, to be honest with you.
Oh, there should be.
Okay, it is now 7:00. I'd like to call this meeting to order, please. If you could please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Yep, gonna start. Here. All right, now we can see it. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. All right, so right now I would like to take a moment to review the agenda. Does anybody have any additions or deletions for the agenda? Okay. We'll review. I know we had quite some time to actually review everything, so I'll probably move through some of this fairly quickly. I would like to entertain motion to approve the agenda as it is.
So moved. Second.
Can I please get a roll call, please? Alderman Oskowski.
Aye.
Alderman Sargent.
Aye.
Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
So we'll move to Section 1C, the approval of the minutes of our last meetings. We've had 3 different meetings. One was on August 10th. If we could review those meetings minutes first. Does anybody have any questions or comments concerning the minutes? Bobby, you always catch me on spelling. I'd entertain a motion to approve August 10th board minute meetings.
So move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Sargent.
Aye.
Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
Alderman Roskowski.
Aye.
And then we will, approve the minutes from our public hearing on August 29th. Does anybody have any questions or comments concerning that? If there are none, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes for August 29th, public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please. Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
Alderman Roskowski.
Aye.
Alderman Sargent.
Aye.
And we will move to the, approving the minutes for our public hearing that we had on September 7th. Does anybody would like to approve or review those? Does anybody have any comments or questions concerning that meeting? Okay, if there's no comments or any questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from September 7th public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
Alderman Roskowski.
Aye.
Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Sorry, Alderman Sargent.
Aye.
Alderman Hanson.
I know these were handed out a little earlier, so, we can review the paid bills as of September 9th, or September 7th, sorry. Does anybody have any questions or comments concerning it?
I do. I had, asked late in the day about an itemized statement on our credit card bills. But, might be something y'all wanna start looking at. On a monthly basis.
Do you have a question about this bill and stuff?
I didn't see anything in there.
Any others?
Due diligence on the financials is all.
I have one on the internet and all the cell phones. So just from looking through, it looks like we have 5 different providers. What are the different ones for?
T-Mobile is for hotspot for the police department, for their cars.
Yeah, it's for our computers and the cars, they have internet access.
Okay.
The Verizon one is for the cameras that are in the public works trucks. Internet, we don't have internet anymore, so we don't have a gateway fiber bill.
There's a $60 one on there.
It's probably the last bill that we had,
Okay.
so I canceled it.
Okay.
And then AT&T is for our city cell phones.
And then what's the Brightspeed for?
Brightspeed is CenturyLink, and it's just for the regular phone lines that we have here.
But your candy company?
That is a refund, for a meter deposit.
Okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah, there's several of them on here. We have people
That's what I was
who
hoping.
Any other questions? We can move to financials at this time. Does anybody have any questions concerning the balance sheet or any of the budget or profit loss?
I'm gonna make a comment, so we are gonna be working, with our auditor to get some of the QuickBooks line items, minimized, so that the reports that you guys read are a little bit easier for you to understand. That should happen first of October.
Anybody have any questions or concerns? Nobody has any questions or concerns, I will entertain a motion to approve the financials as of September 14th.
So moved.
I'll second.
Dan, please give a roll.
Alderman Raskowski.
Aye.
Alderman Sergeant.
Abstain.
Alderman Houston. Alderman Reese.
Aye.
And then we will move to, our old business, which is 2A, a recap of July 2023 meeting.
Okay, so we're just gonna touch on a couple of things that was outbursted from the last meeting. We researched them, and these are what we found. So the first accusation was the city credit card was used by Red Lobster on February 6, 2021. So not only did that not happen, but 2 years worth of credit card statements were filtered through and there were no deceitful charges.
I object to that.
Well, we would also like to note that if any point the city was mentioned at dinner, then it becomes a business meeting, so the card could have been used. Second, that an unauthorized city employee was being accused of taking cash payments for court violations. Another accusation that did not happen. This employee did not have access to the courts or the systems to be able to even log in and see any payments. We can give you a list of 8 other people who are authorized though. The payee would have been given a receipt in which they would have been responsible for. There's an accusation dealing with water and billing, and I asked Tracy to look into it, so she has those findings.
So, we reached out to Softline Data, that's who our billing goes through Max, and I asked if we could go back to 2010, because one of the concerns that we brought up is that they didn't receive their statements back when they first moved in, and he is unable to go back through the system and find that information.
Okay, that's all I know.
Okay, that's it?
There was another one about an accusation of an unauthorized employee in the court stamps back when courts was in-house. Another thing that is not true. From 2013 to 2021, those stamps were in a locked drawer with one person having a key to it. That person being Tracy, the city clerk, and with permission she used that stamp one time. That's all I have on that.
So we will now move to old business, the fall cleanup day in October. I know, Nicole, you had talked about that a couple different times.
Yeah, so Tracy went ahead and set it up. It's gonna be October 14th between the hours of 10 and 6. Yeah, that it'll be available. We were gonna talk to Chief and see if we could get maybe some reserves to help us with that, if they would be willing to do that. So that way we can have it monitored, and then if any of the aldermen or yourself or whatever want to go down at different points throughout the day. They have to have their water bill when they come up here. So I made a sheet. I didn't print one for everyone because we're still reviewing it. We'll get the final one and then send it out about things that are allowed and not allowed, and the stipulations to using it, and where to set it up and so forth.
And how are we gonna get that out to everybody? Just kind of.
Well, it went on the water bill.
Yeah, it's on the water bill, or it's gonna be on the water bill this month. And then we're also gonna post it on the information board, and then I'll put it on the Facebook page as well. And I'll have, Sarah put it on the city website, and it'll have all that information on it, what, everyone will have to bring when they come down.
Church. So it'll be the 14th between 10 and 6.
Actually, put it on the website, if it goes on
Oh,
Facebook.
yeah, for the
So you don't have to
Facebook.
put it on Facebook. So we'll go to section 3, which it appears here that there are no public comments pertaining to the agenda. So we will move on to section 4, new business. The water department, please, report.
So for the September month, reporting for August, September meeting, reporting for August, we sold 66,584.07 in water, sewer, and trash. We received 67,207.04. We collected 25.04 in late fees, 675 in reconnect fees, 49.96 in NSF fees, $87.46 in DNR sewer connection fees, $374.52 in DNR water primacy fees. We collected $200 for a commercial deposit, which would have been at 221 West Avenue, which is the old, Anchors building, yeah. And 4 residential meter deposits. We did not have any streetlight requests for them. And then, Chief, you are up for the PD report.
Thank you, Mayor. Officer Brown recertified as a drug recognition expert, which means he's a subject matter expert when it comes to people that are impaired in substances other than alcohol. He is currently the only one in the county, so it's a pretty big asset for us to have. All of our radar and LiDAR units successfully tested and certified for their annual checks. We assisted the sheriff's office during the officer-involved shooting incident, which I'm sure pretty much everybody's probably aware of, that happened up in Moscow Mills. Then we attended an after-action meeting to discuss the incident and ways to agencies involved so we can improve in the future for any other responses like that. August calls for service, 242 traffic stops, 19 civil calls, 18 domestic or disturbance calls, 17 check for well-being calls, 10 911 accidentals, 13 motor vehicle accidents, 11 medical assists, 11 suspicious circumstances, 8 for theft, fraud, or burglary calls, 5 for animal calls, 5 business checks, 2 drug arrests, 2 fire assists, 2 special assignments, 4 alarms, 3 outside agency assists, 1 illegal dumping, and 1 pedestrian check for a total of 374 calls.
Thank you, Chief.
All our EDMR reports are submitted, the pumps are back down at South Warren are fixed. I've done 6 home inspections, 2 apartment inspections. We had training for our new software to read the meters. And today we received the new MRX to do the meter readings, but wasn't supposed to be until the end of the year.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, and then the planning and zoning report, there's nothing to report. We have a meeting, so we will move on with that one. And Julie Rogers is not here, so we'll skip past that as well. Now we will go to, 4F, which is City Hall access and procedures. So, can you talk about that a little bit? The city access and procedures. So we had, so basically we're just gonna, I'm gonna have you actually speak on it.
Okay.
But yeah, we had a, well, I'll just let you go ahead and just do your part.
This is back to the issue about.
Yes.
Okay, so, the elected officials, as elected officials, do have greater access to documents in the sense of, because you are custodians of the public records, you have access to those documents. But the Sunshine Law still dictates which of those documents are open, closed, and it's not unfettered access. So, no elected official can show up and say, and just go in without supervision. It's important to maintain the integrity of records. So I think that was just wanting to make sure that everyone understood that you all have a right to see personnel files, for instance, which will always remain closed records, and so it dictates what copies can be made. But ultimately, I think there needs to be that balance of it's important as elected officials that you have access to everything to know what's going on, but that the access is properly supervised and that no documents leave City Hall that shouldn't, because obviously there are original copies of things that need to be maintained. There are potentially documents that have private information in there that need to remain confidential. So just wanted to there was make sure everyone understood that.
Okay, thank you for that.
And why is this coming up?
I should also say that it potentially puts employees in a difficult position as well if an elected official comes in and says, I want to go look at this.
coming up because I was told I wasn't allowed to be in City Hall alone. I didn't understand that with an employee here, I still could review records we'd already had out and looking at. That's why it's coming up. I did nothing different than we had already looked at. I did not take anything, even the copies that were redacted for me that day. Nothing. I didn't carry anything in or out.
Well, you came up here whenever the appropriate person wasn't here for you.
That wasn't what I was told before that.
That's what we've had plenty of trainings for.
No, we have not.
We received a pamphlet, we had closed sessions in regards to it.
No. Not that the only time we were allowed to even look at records after we had discussed trying to narrow down for a forensic audit, we came up here together, Tracy, Rachel, myself, pulled records.
It was everybody that day, it was 5
Yes,
employees that
yes.
day that were going through records
Yes.
for you.
I came up the next morning. I had been told that day when you all went to lunch, I couldn't be here alone. I get that, I understand that. So the next morning when I came up, I asked Abby if I could look at things.
But they told you the day before you could be up there, down there
No,
alone?
no,
That's what you just said.
no.
She said
I
she
couldn't be in
left
City
in the
Hall
You're out of
building
order.
alone.
I couldn't be in City Hall alone,
Correct.
yes.
But you came up the next day and went down there
Not the
alone.
next day, the next week, following the tax meeting.
But at one point, they told you that you couldn't be in there alone, but you still went down there alone.
No, I couldn't be in City Hall alone while everybody went to lunch. That's a far different story than 2 employees being present and me looking at records that are already permitted.
Well,
There's a big difference, and I have not approached anybody else for anything. I left, I didn't argue with anyone. The cop was called to escort me out, so yeah. I'm not up to no
and then there was an employee that was disciplined for it.
She was,
She was.
and I just
Have you
said,
apologized to her for that?
I came in for 2 seconds yesterday. No, I have not. I don't get to hang out up here.
But it's not a hangout. You can hang out up here all you want, but you're not privy to those records. Everybody
I never
knows
felt
that.
like I was.
Huh?
I never felt like I was.
They
We
just
had-
spent the whole day with you.
We actually had something we were working on together. I thought it would
Correct.
be okay if I returned
Not
on
alone.
that same thing.
Even for my Alderman, please, let's just call this back in order, please, thank you very much. So let's please go to 4G, which is the West Bend bond. Let's see, we haven't actually been speaking about it, but actually I'm not very privy to all of it, so is that mostly the West Bend bond, or is Tracy, you, I don't really know the whole lot, maybe about West Bend bond.
Well, if it's okay for me to speak, because I wanted to have been speaking with,
I was gonna say, I have not.
the gentleman from Tri County. So basically, we have, a document that needs to be signed by Alderman Sargent, who hasn't been signed yet, and we just need to find out tonight if you're able to sign that.
You know, I'm not willing to put my home up for bids to the city of Winfield.
You also require me to sign that.
Right. No, I cannot do that.
So,
I can advise against it.
does everybody understand what this bond is about? Do you understand what this bond is
I
about?
do.
Okay. Does everybody else understand what the bond is about that you signed? Okay. And everyone also understands that you're not, that you only sign it, you're signing it to say that you're not going to steal from the city. That's the bottom line.
Fine print says you're home.
If you steal from the city. And you don't wanna sign that,
Well, there's also an ordinance
Not
that
this
says you
environment.
have to sign it to sit your seat.
Sure. You all gotta do what you gotta do, understand? I will protect my home first and foremost. If I need to leave now, is that what you're telling me?
No, so our code does require that every elected official execute the fidelity bond, and that if they don't, it says that the city can institute a suit to try and compel that to happen. So
Correct.
if the board want me to explore and do that on behalf of the city, I certainly can. I think that'd be the appropriate avenue to do.
So what, do we need a motion on that then?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so I make a motion.
I'll second.
I'll vote for this. So, Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
Alderman Rostkowski.
Aye.
Alderman Sargent.
Abstain.
Interest ordinance.
Yes, because that is an NEC thing.
Yeah, so every 2 years, the city has to re-adopt its conflict of interest ordinance because, and it's always September of odd number years, so, there are no changes to the ordinance. It's just we have to re-adopt it, so it looks like a lot, it's just, what's already there.
Okay, so, Ms. Tracy? Well, actually, I will, I would like to have Tracy, entertain a motion for Tracy to read this by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Rostkowski.
Aye.
Alderman Sargent.
Aye.
Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
An ordinance readopting Article 2 of Chapter 32 of the City of Winfield, Missouri's Municipal Code pertaining to conflict of interest.
I entertain a motion for Tracy to read the ordinance, chapter 32, City of Winfield, for the second reading, please.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Sargent. Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
Alderman Rostkowski.
Aye.
An ordinance readopting Article 2 of Chapter 32 of the City of Winfield, Missouri's Municipal Code pertaining to conflict of interest.
Does anybody have any questions, concerns about it? Entertain a motion to approve our ordinance pertaining to conflict of interest.
So moved.
Second. Alderman Hanson.
What was it, I'm sorry?
This is like.
The approval for the ordinance.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
Alderman Rostkowski.
Aye.
Alderman Sargent.
Aye.
This ordinance has been passed. Okay. And now we will go to move to the water, sewer, and bank account. Tracy, whenever you're ready, I know your hand's full of that. Sorry.
Do you want me to explain what it is? So, we are asking the board if we can, we have one account that we are not using, that we would like to, start using it for our water and sewer payments and deposits. We're changing some things around that, to clean things up on QuickBooks in our banking accounts.
Plus, it would be much easier to try to figure out as far as like exactly where the budgeting is and where it's coming out and all that wonderful stuff. That's correct. So does anybody have any questions for Tracy concerning this? Cause I would actually like to run on this one, entertain a motion to actually approve you to be able to make that account specifically for water and sewer.
So what we have now is.
So we have a resolution that we typed up, so one of the accounts, we would just, open it and start using that, so that we can.
We'll move on to our resolution. Okay, so I'll ask you to, I'll entertain a motion to approve, or to read the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Resolution, Alderman Reese.
Aye.
Alderman Rostkowski.
Aye.
Alderman Sargent.
Aye.
Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
A resolution authorizing the city clerk of the city of Winfield, Missouri to establish a water sewer bank account at First Mid Bank in the city of Winfield, Missouri.
And I'll entertain a motion to read it again. Entertain a motion for Tracy to read the resolution for the second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Rostkowski.
Aye.
Alderman Sargent. Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
A resolution authorizing the city clerk of the city of Winfield, Missouri to establish a water sewer bank account at First Mid Bank in the city of Winfield, Missouri.
And I'll entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call please.
Alderman Sargent. Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
Alderman Gustafson.
Aye.
I will let Julie speak on this, but I'm gonna just say that we had our wonderful AC one out last month, and it was an absolute bear. So I had asked, Jeannie to get me some bids on the AC because it was recommended that we get a new AC. I'll let Jeannie say, yeah, I'll let Jeannie speak on that. She actually spoke with the individual that was here repairing.
Actually,
Actually, that was Tracy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So, we had CNS Heating and Cooling out of Winfield come out, and then we had, someone from Peters come out, and then we had someone from Hawk Heating and Cooling come out. The CNS company is a small company, it's a union company. He did a thorough check of all of our air conditioning stuff. He was here for a little while talking to me. He understood that this was a municipal government, so the bid is based, the price of the bid, I guess, is based on the fact that our residents, paying for this stuff. So, they are offering a 10-year warranty, for parts only, and then each one of them has a 1-year warranty on labor. The Peters came out, he was kind of in a hurry, he didn't really stay too long, kind of zipped in and out, didn't really explain anything to me or talk to me too much, but their warranty is for 5 years, parts and 1 year labor. And then the man from Hawk came out and he stayed for just a little bit as well and kind of looked over everything, and I think their bid was, they were like 11,000 something now.
Are they offering something a little bit more fantastic here, or is it?
I would check it. So, this bid that they gave is for, non-prevailing wage, so it's not considering us as a municipal government. They have a 20-year warranty on heat exchanger, 10 years on the remaining furnace, evaporator coil, and air conditioner parts with registration, and 3 years on labor.
Do you have any questions or want to discuss anything?
I like the CNS one. I think, I mean, it's not the cheapest one, but I think that $2,000 difference is worth it in that warranty. It's a 5-year longer warranty, so.
Yeah.
Well, and they're also a union company, so we should support the union. I'm perfectly fine with the heating CNS cooling.
Which one did you like, Tracy?
The gentleman that was from CNS was the one that explained more to me. I asked, different questions, and he was the one that spent the most time here, and just seemed like he cared, about making sure that we have what we needed and having a fair price for it because of being a municipal government.
And it seems like we might know where we're going here, so I will entertain a motion to go with CNS Heating and Cooling. Go with their bid.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
Looks like that was something that's actually going to be done for a little while, so. Okay, and now we will get to, the letter at Winfield. Actually, Nicole, I know that you're wanting to talk about it. This has actually been brought up by multiple people. So, I think this is something that we definitely need to be paying attention to on our board because I've been approached by multiple residents as well.
Right.
So, Nicole, you may have this.
Well, and Brenda actually had mentioned it back in July, about
Yes.
talking to businesses and stuff. So there's definitely the potential there. We need to get it going. If the board does decide that yes, we can go ahead and do this. If we wanna set a budget and do what we can within those means, then reach out for donations to other people, but I think that we definitely need some positivity in the city.
Yeah,
And that,
and I do know that this is one of the cheaper events that we've done. They have purchased multiple things for this
Yeah.
instead of just renting it out.
right,
So a lot of stuff is already there. So we're
Right.
very fortunate that, it's trying to get with businesses and finding out, like who wants to donate food and hot chocolate. And, are there vendors that wanna come out? I know we had talked about, farmers, I think Bobby and I, we actually spoke about that possibility. Some farmers market individuals were very interested in coming out as well, so, I think it would be good.
yeah.
I really do, I believe so. I know that we had talked about possibly, just kind of mixing everything, but, I would like to, entertain a motion to approve it.
Not to mention, the school's already got it on their
They already have it on
calendar
their agenda.
and they're already practicing
Yeah.
music, so.
Yeah.
So I would like to bring that back, but I know that I had initially stated that we weren't going to have it, so I would like to entertain a motion to actually go ahead and move and have our letter.
What is our normal budget for this?
That's the minimum maximum.
What is it typically, actually, I know who might actually know. Do you know typically what it was? No, you think of the celebrate,
No.
Too much.
that's too much, it was a
Oh,
lot
that's-
less than
okay,
that.
that's right,
It was a
that was-
lot.
I wanna say with everything that we already have, you guys would probably have the event for 2,500 max.
Yeah, I was thinking about 2,000.
And that would include everything from advertising to the supplies that you have to purchase. It would probably actually be less than that.
And then Brittany, you said that there was some business owner or something that was interested in.
Were they interested in Light Up Winfield?
Yes.
Okay.
I put together like a couple different crafts. So I did like crafts, goodie bags, bags for Santa to hand out to the kids. And then I priced a Johnny on the spot. I priced a whole bunch of stuff. I thought I brought it, but I didn't. And it was about 2,200. So I think if we do a budget of 25, that I think for the donations and stuff, we could probably make it work.
We already got a Santa Claus.
So.
Yeah, we do that.
And Mrs. Claus.
Mrs.
Just saying. And I have vendors already ready.
Really? Nice. Okay, so I would entertain a motion for us to go ahead and then we'll move forward with Light Up Winfield.
Do we wanna set a budget on it? Make a motion with a budget on it?
We can do that if that's, or a budget of $2,500.
You guys good with 25? I think we can make it work with that.
Make it work and try to get some vendors to or some businesses to help us out.
Yeah. So make a motion to approve Light Up Winfield at
$2,500,
2,500.
yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. What's the
Looks
date
like
on
we
it?
got, let's set up a date, I guess, for this. What do you guys think is a good date for this?
You guys normally
Typically, it's the
do,
beginning of December.
It's always been the first Saturday of December.
Let's say, when do you need commitments by?
That's the second, December 2nd.
Commitments before next meeting?
That'd probably be a good idea, yeah. And if they can't, even if they get closer to November, that'd probably be okay. I don't think that'd be the world.
November.
Well,
Definitely be at least November, definitely.
I mean, if they need some time for whatever they need,
What's the time that we normally do? We've done it 5 to 8, we've done it 6 to 8, 1 year we did it 4 to 8, which was way too.
That was way too, yeah.
So usually
What did we do it last year, do you remember?
we did 5 to 8.
5 to 8 seemed to be pretty good, because when we lit up, you could still see the lights.
Yeah.
So, and it was early enough that everybody could get home, it was a decent hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
so I have an idea about that too. If we're gonna do, so we'd like to make it, I don't know how to word it, but we would like it to make it more of a bigger event if we can, especially because I know there's a lot of market people that wanna
Yes.
come. So I think that we should do it earlier in the day That way we have more daylight hours for people to come out and shop
And
do
just light up
crafts,
later on.
and then do the singing and the light up, and then that can be that. They can hang out and
So
just
kind of
more,
switch things around a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay,
make it a little bit earlier during the day, so it's not.
so what do you think is like maybe 3 to 7? What are you thinking? I mean, because typically it's about 3 hours, but you say you would like to be bigger, so everybody can walk around farmers market.
Like 5.
Right around 5:30ish is really where, I think that's kind of where I think we were a little early.
Yeah, between
Last year.
5:30 and 6, usually by 6 o'clock it
It's
was dark.
dark.
But yeah, 5:30 was a little early, it wasn't completely dark by then, but.
So we can end it at 7 if we do the tree lighting and
Did you want
all
everybody,
that.
I mean, you don't want everybody to duck out right after they do the flyers.
Right, yeah. So we can have it open till 7. So Becky, what time do you think would be good for the market people?
I would say 2, so people can come out, shop, hang out, but, cause it takes a lot for a vendor to set up and then move their vehicle.
Okay.
So do we
So
want to
it
be
could
open?
take a half an hour to an hour to set up all their stuff.
We
I
also
mean-
don't want people to come too early and then scoot out before the tree and everything too.
Right.
So do we
So-
want to do maybe like 3 to 7 that it's open?
Yeah, probably.
That way you guys
That
can
way
get there
it's
about
after
2 to
lunch.
set up.
Everybody can set
Yeah,
up.
we could even have the choir sing before I light up. I mean, that way they,
Yeah.
you know, that way they're not standing around for such a long time, because they are probably, parents are probably gonna shop and
Well,
do
yeah,
whatever.
my daughter's in the choir.
Yeah. So even if we decided to switch it up a little bit and literally do the opposite of, yes.
Could you possibly do it like almost like a two events that day? Like the first event would be a craft event and then it would lead in, and then the second event would be like a Winfield and it would lead into that, and it would maybe bring people down to the craft event that don't know about Light Up Winfield, and then
I
they're like,
was
oh, like,
So the vendors market, actually, our last day is the 4th, because we're not doing it down the field with the weather, we don't know what the
yeah.
field's gonna be like, so I was just gonna get maybe 10 vendors to come and set up out here, and those vendors know it'll be like an all-day thing, they're volunteering.
Okay.
And
So we usually do about 3 hours, but we can do
that
probably
way
4 hours.
kids can do crafts
So
and
we'll
stuff and all that.
we'll be open 3 to 7, and then they can get there like 2 to set up, and then we'll have 2 there to set up as well. So we'll start set up at 2 and then up and going at 3. Will that work for you?
To an Alderman. Are you taking charge of this one?
Sure.
Well, I know some volunteers that want to, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of interest from the community to actually do this, and
We just need the initial contact person, so we're gonna make one,
So-
Nicole, our little contact person here.
are we confirmed on that date, or do we need to reach out to our volunteers and make sure that it works for them?
We're gonna set it, we've always done it the first Saturday of the month. So let's just go ahead and set it, and let's just get our booties and gear.
So
Do
December
what we have to
2nd?
do, yep, December 2nd, and I have from 3 to 7 PM. Everybody good with that? Sound good?
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
All right, so now we are going to move forward. I have 2 public comments that are non-agenda related. The first one came in was Mr. Roger Jefferson.
I will ask.
You will certainly.
Thank you.
Okay, Rochelle, you're first. Here, you want to talk about the dog park?
Yes, can I add the manger scene to that?
Okay.
Okay, so real quick, the dog park, I've seen, like my neighbors have had issues with like dogs getting in fights and stuff, even through the fences. We live in a small community, if you will. So I just thought maybe if we could, the city would look at using the land down on the east side that y'all have to make a dog park that's fenced in, and that people can go and let their dog get all that energy out and socialize. When dogs are socialized, they also become less aggressive. So I felt that might be a good thing to, help the group, get everything moving as far as getting them exercise and maybe being less aggressive, like
Typically,
socializing.
whenever I go to them, there's usually different things for the dogs to do.
Right.
We have a whole lot there. You have any suggestions for them as well?
We could actually reach out to handymans and stuff that will, maybe donate, like they have like a ramp and stuff like that, and have them build it and stuff, and kind of see if we can get some stuff donated. Now the manger scene. Yes, so we have a major scene that has been on here since the beginning of time, I
Yes.
think. And it was actually replaced with a new major scene with the wise men and everything. And I was gonna say, I know the city will put it out for bid and things like that, because what I would like to see happen is I would like an opportunity to even bid on it, so I could restore that old manger scene and bring some life back to it,
Put it out for bid.
if you would. That's all.
We have to enter the shed.
Yeah, it's like from 1970, possibly 1940. Hi, Mr. Jefferson, you are
All right.
last, you're next.
Thank you very much. Are you the reporter for the
Yes.
journal? So I'm gonna talk about you, and say to you.
Where's the fastest exit?
You don't-
Right by
you
it.
don't need one.
Okay,
I wanna thank you.
Oh,
for
that's,
the
oh,
article.
how long can we talk about this?
I wanna thank you for the article that you wrote about the last, meeting we had up here.
Good.
I thought that like a breath of fresh air.
Well, good.
It was good, and I liked it. The past couple of meetings I've been to, a friend of mine has been bad now. And I don't like speaking out, but I just, it's time. It's time for me to tell my side of the story. And I'm talking about, the past city administrator who I did not know was gonna be here tonight. But the first time I met Rochelle, and we had a prayer walk from our church. If I better talk fast, I only got 3 minutes right. We had a prayer walk. We had a revival coming up, and what we did, we walked the streets, stopped for different houses, and prayed for the occupants of that house. I hooked my trailer up to my truck. My grandkids all got on there, and we went around the subdivision in town, and I would stop, the kids would get out, and we'd pray for the residents of the home. After we were done, we went down, I was gonna take the kids downtown, I believe it was Pizza Plus at the time. So I come down there, and my kids are all hanging off the trailer, my grandkids, and Officer Lovelace saw me, and his first instinct was to, my gosh, there's an old man that's endangering these kids. And he came over and jumped on me, and Rochelle saw it, and it came over and had him back off a little bit. And we actually became pretty good friends, Officer Lovelace and I. Gail and I started out pretty poor, as did most anybody else. And paying the bills were difficult at times. Sometimes bills did not get paid, so you had to wait. So a group of men from my church and myself, coupled with the city, to locate people in town who had gotten behind on their water bills. And so we would go and catch them up if we could. And when you do that for somebody, and you see their face, like, you can see relief come over them. And cause I've been there, I've done that. And when I see that happen to somebody, you just get what a good feeling, thank you Jesus moment. Rochelle was very active in that, helping us to do that. One time in particular, the bill was higher than what we could pay. Rochelle got in her own pocket and paid the rest of it. I think about $80 or $100 out of her own pocket that she put in her to help someone else who was behind her water bill. Now, I just said that because I wanted the other side to be heard. And that's really, without hurting anybody's feelings or anything like this, I try to be a quiet person if I can. That's really all I want to say. And I thank you very much. You probably let me go over 3 minutes. I thank you.
I didn't request to be on the agenda. May I respond?
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. And I will tell you that our new editor is very much interested in reporting the news, not making things bigger than they need to be. So that is his goal for all of us to do. So
I appreciate it.
I'll tell him that
Thank
you
you very
said
much.
that.
Thank you. Okay, so we are in our ending items right now. So we have a date of October 12th. pretty much a standard for us. Anybody got any issues with October 12th? Okay.
Good.
You good? You good? Okay, October 12th.
I only want to say one more thing and then I'll stop.
You know, I'm supposed to lay down the scaffold.
I
tell you
know.
absolutely not.
I know, and you cracked me across the head with it. If anybody, I'm really trying to present the more positive picture of Winfield, because I know that's been an issue for all of you. And if you have anything that I could ask the boss about putting in the paper, I could write an article about. Well, something like what you said, where people were gathering together and helping each other like that. You can always contact me at the Lincoln County Journal office.
Thank you.
I'm Karen.
Yes.
Everyone is married.
Yes, if you ask,
Better known as Mary. That is
Susan, she's married.
Susan, that's right.
We had a little name confusion when we first met each other. Thank you.
So we would need a motion to enter into closed session pursuant to section 610.021, subsections 1, 3, 11, and 12. Discussions of legal, personnel, competitive bid requirements, and reviewing of proposals. Then upon the adjournment of the closed session, the whole meeting will be adjourned. We will not be returning to open session.
We would like to take a 10-minute.
So we just need to so move on that one.
So moved. Everybody else.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Roll call vote, please. Alderman Hanson.
Aye.
Alderman Reed.
Aye.
Alderman Rosales.
Aye.
Alderman Carter.
I'm sorry. Try to get it away from me as far as I could.
Recess. Correct. Thanks, Sarah. Yes.
I didn't know you were married. I didn't know you were gonna talk about me.
I didn't either, but like that.
I wanted to ask if the water bill was changed with the counterfeit bill.
Oh, okay, so he's showing up.
So are you gonna hang out and wait for her or? Oh, nothing less than I expected.
They all kind of look so dumb.
I didn't know I'm gonna punch her in the nose. That's why I'm looking up.
Don't get emotional.